Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Generals, and today we talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. That's a long title. TMNT Mutant Mayhem. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John, and yeah, we talk about the Turtles for the first time on the channel actually. Because I don't think, we haven't talked about the Bay ones or the 90s version, or the 07
early
version?
2000.
Yeah. So were you excited for this movie?
Yeah, I've always been a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan ever since. The first one I ever watched was the 2000s one, and then they went to the future, which was fucking badass. There was a character there with purple hair and blue skin. He was like my first ever anime crush.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's your go-to turtle? Who's your...
Leonardo.
Okay. Same here actually. Jesus.
I thought you were more of a Raphael guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, it switches out between both, though it might be Michelangelo because he is a future badass in like the future.
And he becomes Ronin.
Yeah. But yeah, I had no idea this movie was coming out. I just thought it was gonna be a Nickelodeon exclusive movie. Like, oh, it's only a Nickelodeon, and I don't even have fucking cable, so why should I watch it?
And plus, recently, track records for TMNT wasn't so good because of Michael Bay.
Yeah. And I was like, Turtles again. But I saw a trailer and I was like, huh.
It does play... I love the animation. I know we're kind of jumping into it, but I love the animation for this. It does remind me of Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And really old Nickelodeon shows. I don't know if you watch, like, Rocket Power or like was this Life Told by Ginger or something like that? Yeah, where the characters are just ugly as fuck.
Poor Ginger, man.
Everybody there is not appealing in any way. The turtles are the most appealing looking thing in this entire show.
I remember animation like that. Like, that's what sold me on this movie. I was like, it's Spider-Verse. Like, whoa, I like that. And then seeing the cast, you're like, oh, Jackie Chan as Master Splinter. That sounds like a perfect casting choice. In whatever universe you're in. And like, I forgot who was the previous actor for Splinter, but like, since it was Michael Bay, so I was like, that's completely forgettable, honestly. But you see, it's kind of like, I don't know, X-Men is where he's kind of like Magneto, where it's like, you can't trust humans. That's why you cannot stay outside for too long. That's why you can only go out at night. Humans are not trustworthy because I tried it once with you and we were all almost murdered by Mr. Beast.
Was it Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast was the one who was pulling on Splinter's ears. That was canon. Right?
Oh god, I touched it. It's real.
Though, going back to the animation, like the first scene when they're just sneaking out and they're all like white eyes, I was like, that's straight from the comic books.
It is.
Thank you, Seth Rogen, for paying attention to details. And for the director, too.
And I will say, the chemistry between all the turtles does feel like they're brothers. They all feel like they're brothers, and I love it. Because if you don't have brothers, you got a friend group somewhere, composed of like 4 different dudes with 4 different traits, and you could see all of them. Like, yeah, that's them. Those are my friends.
Most importantly, they feel like teenagers for the first time in movie history. Honestly.
Yeah, they don't feel like 30-plus-year-old men in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes.
Or CGI garbage. You're like, oh, they feel like kids. They actually feel like kids. Like when they're doing the stupid dance of like, throw the shuriken at my head. Like, why does my head look like Hey Arnold? Like, oh, cool. Nice reference, kid.
No, it was like if Hey Arnold and Stewie Griffin had a baby with your head. It was like you set up. And I do love the anime references. Like, they do bring in like actual pop culture into this world. So that means it's no holds barred. There's Endgame. They talk about like a lot of anime. Like, you see a JoJo reference here with Donatello's jacket.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. Yeah.
Speaking of Michelangelo, like the first scene of action when they're trying to rescue the bike, April's bike, from the criminals, and like all right, let's do this, and then the Sai gets stuck on his leg.
It's still on my leg.
It's like,
Dude, every fucking time I wouldn't stop laughing, but the action's still really good. It's just the comedy within the action scenes. It's so fucking funny.
scene when Leo sees April for the first time. It's like, I need to rescue that beautiful human's bike. You're like, is this the first time you have a crush?
No.
I love how the rest of the turtles are like, that's too bad. I guess you can do shit. And Leo's just like simping over April. They're like, yeah, I've been there, Leo.
Yeah, same here. I will say I do miss old version April. Nothing wrong with this one. It's just the art style is so ugly. The character's fine. She's relatable and she's very funny.
Yeah.
But it's just that, like, again, everybody here, people say they're afraid of the mutants. They're more ugly than the mutants.
The humans are the like, oh, what the hell is that thing?
Right? Like, they come out of the womb with a broken nose and lopsided eyes. I'm like, okay.
Why? But you can see that the team and T team are just like, we want to be on the outside world. We want to be accepted. Like, we like outside world things. We like K-pop. We like Drake. We like outside music. And even though Master Splinter's like, no, that's all bad. They're like, it's not that bad. We just want the world to accept us. And like, it's through April. They're like, if we can take down the Superfly who's been causing chaos in the streets, maybe the world will accept us for being who we are. And that's where we get this amazing montage of action of like each turtle breaking down the door and kicking ass. You're like, fuck, Jesus Christ. I love this animation style.
Same. And shit goes hard.
Yeah.
Like, it really fucking goes hard. What was the song that was playing while they were going at it?
I don't know the artist, but I'm on down on the soundtrack after this.
I forgot as well, but I remember it just went hard.
Yeah.
And even the, wake in the morning and I step outside and I'll be yeah. Might get copyrighted. Yes.
We're out of tune though, so we don't do that to worry.
Ouch. Thanks, man.
But you see all the turtle styles, like Leo is very katana-centric, while Raphael's just a tank. He's just going through people one by one.
Yeah. But again, like, I don't know if somebody explained it, where they're like, the different, what do you call it? Each weapon that the turtles had went against their, principles. Yeah, so like, with Leonardo, he got katanas when he clearly has to be a leader and decide when to use it properly. For Raph, he has the size which are more defensive weapons when he's clearly a tank.
Yeah.
For Donatello, since he is a guy who relies on technology, he has the most basic fucking weapon.
Why do I have a big stick? Why did I choose this thing?
He's like, why is this my thing? And then for Michelangelo, since he is the most like out there, very his mind's everywhere.
Yeah.
He has the weapon that needs the most concentration to wield.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what the creators of the cartoon were intending, but somebody in Twitter kind of gave us like, oh, that actually does give more sense and more meaning to why their weapons are like that, instead of them using any fucking weapon.
Right. Especially Leonardo's like, you have 2 katanas, man. You're pretty fucking lethal. Like, you're the most lethal out of all of these people. And yet, you're like, you're taking the big boss route of like, I'll go the passive route and I'll be happy with my life.
The pacifist route, just.
But
he does make it work though.
Oh, who was the lady, the milking lady, Cynthia Ultram? I just found out that she's voiced by Maya Rudolph. I was like, Jesus Christ. Maya Rudolph is like in a lot of comedies. She's in Bridesmaids. She's in a lot. Like, she's not the typical bad guy choice. She's more of a comedian. Like, I'm sure when you Google her picture.
SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's one of Splinter's concerns. Like, if the world finds out who you are, they'll milk you. And you're like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, but we don't have menopause.
Going back
And
to
that's the biggest thing. I was like, you would think that it's just like a parent just trying to scare the children thing.
Going back to Splinter, I like how, I don't know, like an 80s dad he is. You're like, Jesus Christ. What?
Yeah, right. It's not like, oh, his old master and, kind of just
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
No. Now that we're remembering it, people who were born in the 80s, no offense to the guys who were born in the 80s, are old. And I love it that he is like a tad bit nerdy. He has like really good music from the 80s as well. And I love his character. I love how Jackie Chan brings him to life.
Yeah.
And he's very relatable. He's not the Splinter that we grew up with, where he's like stone cold master Shifu kind of style. He's more laid back and it's kind of like, oh, I just want my children to be happy.
Yeah, but
at the same time safe.
Yeah, he's very Asian parent with the turtles. So he's like, the only way you can be safe and happy is if you listen to me. And you're like, that's not always the best case. I'm sorry, Master Splinter. You have to let the children grow up from time to time, But going back to turtles, like, as they discover who the big bad is, like, they go to the steakhouse space where they meet Superfly, and that's where you meet the rest of the mutant crew, and that's honestly Superfly's entrance is one of the best introductions to a character I've ever seen, animated or otherwise, and he's voiced by Ice Cube. You're like, that's fucking sick.
It is. It really is. I was like, oh shit. It's the man himself. I would want to fight Ice Cube, to be honest. Even though if he is like 70,
right?
Like in the future, I would never want to fight Ice Cube.
You see how ferocious he is because he's just vibing, and then he's like, "All right, let's get the products," and he just attacks the van. They're just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I do love how the other characters got introduced though.
Yeah,
like my favorite character from all of them though, Mondo.
Paul Rudd.
Yes, sir. Man, I thought we were just vibing. I'm like, man, that's not cool.
You threw me out of the window. Why?
I'm sorry.
John Cena's Rocksteady. I was like, you know what? That fits perfectly. Honestly.
Yeah, and like Seth Rogen like coming in as Bebop as well. It's very sick.
Yeah.
I remember somebody, like the other voice actress.
Rose Byrne as the crocodile.
Which one's Rose Byrne?
The Australian crocodile.
No, which one's Rose Byrne?
Oh, she's from X-Men First Class. She's Moira. She's the girlfriend of Professor X.
Oh, okay, CIA.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
And Post Malone as Ray Fillet. Like,
there you go. Yeah, Ray Fillet. I knew somebody, like, I remember Post Malone was in this movie. I just didn't know which one he was.
Right.
And now the fact that it's Ray Fillet, I was like, I love that.
I was looking
I
at
just wanted to sing.
Alright? And at first they're like, alright, we can all vibe the mutants together. Then, like, Superfly starts being like, alright, we plan to wipe out the humans and take over the world because the world belongs to the mutants because humans will never accept us. And they're like, yeah, we don't vibe with that. We don't like your plan, huh? But we're still cousins, right? Even though we don't vibe. And he's like, no, I don't like that. Pisses me off. They're like, oh, I'm sorry.
It was just hypothetical.
This scene when what was it? Donatello stops the van with his staff. He's like,
no, that was Mikey.
Mikey with the staff, and in the slow motion of Gecko being like, whoa.
While he was singing the song.
Time we're just vibing. Do you see the seeds of like the bat being like, you have to give it back, otherwise he's going to kill you? You're like, oh, okay. I see. Not all of you are on this plan, but that makes sense because I don't think all of you are more or less killers.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the majority of these, but I know Bebop, Rocksteady, they're bad guys. Superfly is a bad guy, but majority of these I don't remember. Like Mondo, the Bat, the Crocodile.
Yeah, I think these are like deep cuts of like the Turtle comics when it came out in the 90s.
I guess so. But like, I do like it that they're not so. Yeah, they're kind of just like, hey, you don't really need to do this.
Yeah.
We're not against you fully, but we are trying to stop you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't get over Mondo. He's my favorite character from all of this.
But the poor turtles are arrested by the SWAT team to be milked, while April's is like, I'm gonna get your dad for help because I can't do this by myself. And then they start getting milked by Central Drum, and they're like, can we start singing?
They all realize they're just like, we're the milking machine. Again, the performance with the voice acting with the kids is so fucking
on
good.
fire. Like, oh man. Again, it's refreshing to hear the turtles as actual teenagers, not like that's a 30-year-old man voicing Leonardo. Why is that?
Even them going like, don't forget the Bev. I'm like, oh, they watch TikTok.
And we can sing BTS for you if you want. And they start singing it.
Like,
And he's like, you don't even know the lyrics.
Majority was like, you don't even know the lyrics. I do like it that Mikey is a K-pop fan.
Right. And then you see the door open, like in like a hallway segment. Like,
oh wait, was it Mikey or Donatello? I think it was Donatello.
Yeah, Donatello. And then like you see the hallway segment. You're like, is Master Splinter gonna have his moment? He's gonna have a Vader moment, and like, it doesn't really go the way you think it's gonna go. It's like an 80s dad trying to figure shit out while also kicking ass. Like, it's the usual Jackie Chan shit, actually.
I was gonna say. Did you notice the choreography where it's very Jackie Chan? Like it's very. I don't want any trouble.
Right.
You know.
It's still
like
so
him using
cool.
the chair, the environment around him. It's so fucking good.
And then him using all of their weapons when he pops out of the vending machine. Like, shit. Like seeing Jackie Chan's choreography and this animation style, like, I can watch this movie over and over again just for this scene, and I'll never get tired.
Except here, I love it. I really love this movie. There was not a single beat missing. Sure, if you're out of the loop when it comes to the internet, it still doesn't alienate you.
Yeah.
You know, like yes, they're teenagers, and it's 2023. They confirmed that's the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, you're a tad bit older. You grew up with it in the 90s, but these are kids who were born probably early 2000s.
Yeah.
Or late 2000s. And I love it. I love it that, yeah, they sound like kids who we would run into in the
Real
normal world. Yeah.
Yeah. I also love the fact that for the recording process, they all film together, like recorded together, so they can bounce off each other as a
I
team.
can see that. Yeah. I can see that. That is so fucking good. And, yeah, and they don't... This movie doesn't nostalgia bait you. Sure, they show old characters, but they're meant to be here.
Yeah.
But they don't bring any, 90s... Actually, okay, they do give some references, but they don't, rub it in the face kind of deal.
Yeah.
Unlike some studios, which I really appreciate.
Same here. But going back to Splinter, like as I said before, he gives the whole Asian parent of like, if you just listen to me, you'll be happy and safe. And like, again, you need to let your children go out in the world and experience shit on their own. Can't always shelter them. But that's a lesson he learns when they're all battling Superfly, because the other mutants are like, we don't like this plan. What if we can just vibe together as a whole? Look, the Turtles and Splinter are all mutants too. Even the weird non-speech one is getting it on with Splinter, and she's fine with it.
Yeah. And he does clearly see now, even Superfly has the same worldview that Splinter has, but Splinter's just a little bit more chill about it.
Yeah.
But Splinter does see that. I was like, oh shit, I am him.
Yeah.
I can't do that to my kids.
I love the scene between John Cena and Seth Rogen. It's like, this man's making me mad. I think he's the reason I've been mad all my life. I think you're right.
And yeah, here's the thing that's kind of new.
Yeah.
They work together. These supposed to be like villains or anti-heroes of TMNT,
Yeah.
all working together to fight this one guy.
Yeah. And it's unique to see for the first time in TMNT history and movies. I mean, to be honest, like as I was watching this movie, I was like, you know what? It might be a bold statement, but I think this is the best version of TMNT I've ever seen in a movie.
I fucking agree.
Yeah.
I really do. Again, they don't sound or look like real old people. When like where the Michael Bay one just felt like a couple of 30-year-olds in turtle costumes trying to act young.
Yeah.
While this one, they are young.
Yeah, it sounds like the people were like, let's get fucking Johnny Knoxville to be a teenager all over again. You're like, why? Why? Why?
No, his kick-ass days is done.
Jackass, you mean?
Sorry, Jackass. Fuck.
No, it's fine. But yeah, Splinter realizes, like, you know what? I want you guys to save the world because you so desperately want this world to like you. I may not like this world, but I want this world to like you. So I'm going to help you fight for it. And you're like, oh, that's a nice moment. And, like, there's a sick scene of them charging the bay and, like, the scene when all of Superfly's mutants land at the same time Leonardo and his crew land, like, slow motion walking. You're like, that's a pretty fucking sick scene.
Yeah, and then like April O'Neil comes in and gives the gun to Raph. I was like, that was smooth as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, God. Wait, did we skip a part?
Superfly is massive now.
Oh yeah, there we go.
He's literally colossal Titan size. Almost.
So like they stop the machine, right?
Yeah.
But the thing falls into the ocean. Where Superfly does fall into as well.
Yeah.
And it becomes a fucking whale.
Right.
And it was the most butt ugly thing I've ever seen. But you know the animators had so much fun designing this.
Yeah.
Like the narwhal for fingers, good design. Horrible to look at.
I got horses for legs. Like, shit.
Like you saw like the ending of Akira, right?
Yeah.
It was like that but with limbs.
They kept mentioning Attack on Titan, so I thought at one point when he's like riding Mondo Gecko like with ropes attached, I was like, is this them trying to be Attack on Titan? It's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like they're kids.
Yeah. Though I will say the ending kind of feels a bit rushed when it's an easy like, oh, we shot the thing into the hole and he suddenly is like, shrink. You're like, that's a bit abrupt, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was intense. I don't mind, but it was the only way to do it. Like, I couldn't see them cutting into this thing without killing majority of the animals that he absorbed.
That's true, but it also felt like Seth Rogen being like, guys, we're like 1 hour and 45 minutes. We're not spoilers yet.
Yeah, we need to finish this up. But for sure, we're gonna get a solid. But like, I think this is just their introduction.
Yeah.
I agree. It is a little bit abrupt, but this is their introduction. We got good enough like kick-ass moments.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna rush the ending for this one, it's okay because by the end of this movie, we know that the real big baddie's coming.
Yeah. I also like the lesson of like, oh, we should stop trying to save the city to be liked. That's like a bad reason. We should just save the city for the sake of saving the cities, for saving innocent lives, because it's the right thing to do. And while they're doing that, April manages to like turn the city for them, while as before they were against them. Like,
I so forgot about that scene. Like, it was like our first time being on camera. She just couldn't stop throwing up.
And then the second time for like national news, she's like, "All right, we're good."
No, she did it. Like she, he's like, I was like, huh, I did it. And then she was like, "Sorry, I thought that was past me."
And like, you know what? It's fine. We all have our growing pains. And then by the end, all the mutants are living happily together. And again, you're like, Bebop and Rocksteady are fucking enemies of TMNT. I don't understand this new trend, but if let's see where it goes.
Yeah. If that's a new route they're gonna take, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I already am, because there are a lot more villains in the TMNT universe besides Bebop and Rocksteady. It'll be fun.
I also didn't know Splinter had a thing for the inaudible.
Flies.
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, sorry, the cockroach.
Yeah.
Well, you do remember he only had one friend when he was growing up, and it's just that one cockroach, and then he got stepped on.
And then he ate it. Right. You know what?
Yeah.
It's fine. But yeah, everything seems to be going fine. Leonardo finally shoots his shot, and you're like, good on you, man. And it all seems to be going well. And you realize, like, oh, they're being observed by Cynthia, and the guy's like, she's like, you know what? It's easy to find the mutants. Capturing them will be another story. And the guy's like, we do have one other option. She's like, yeah, bring me the Shredder. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And then you just see his armor and scarf like falling. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. He has more spikes too. Like, I can't wait. I swear, if I had to wait as long as Spider-Verse, I might scream, honestly. But I'm willing to wait. But goddamn, these animation movies are taking a while to make.
I mean,
which is fine.
Look, if you try to make it as detailed as this at Spider-Verse, you could see where the time went.
Yeah.
They really do pay attention to detail, and sure, you don't notice it at the start, but when you do take a deep dive into it, you appreciate it a lot more because they did take their time on it. So for me, I'm willing to wait, but I hope the teenagers who voiced the turtles still sound like teenagers.
Yeah, albeit like a bit more mature, like maybe 18,
you see
19.
that puberty's like coming in.
Yeah. But what would you rate TMNT Mutant Mayhem?
Yeah, I had so much fucking fun with this one. Everybody did a good job. Yes, as I said, even the inaudible ones did a good job. Mondo is my boy, but I will give credit to the 4 voice actors for the turtles.
Yeah.
They did a great job. It was a great idea to put them in one room when they would do the voices, because you could see that they are bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
You believe that they are teenagers, and you believe that they are brothers, and I love that so fucking much. And man, kids these days are so lucky that they have that. And I really want to buy a TMNT toy now.
Same here. Like, as you said, kids don't know how good they have it now. But, like, the new batch of Transformers, TMNT, Spider-Verse, like, you guys are eating well. Well, back in my day...
Back in my day, we would walk 20 miles to school and back.
Yeah. Back in my day,
we didn't do that.
Spider-Man 2 and then a shit ton of bullshit, honestly.
Yeah, but I will say, like, I am glad that they're gonna grow up with this. Like the new generation was growing up with this one. Because I don't know, it just seems nuts. We're past the part where, hey, we're hiring these 30-something-year-old people to play high school kids. And right, I didn't give my rating. Yeah, I'll give this one a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's not perfect because, as you said, the ending was a little bit abrupt. Ice Cube did a good job being the villain, though, but the ending was a bit abrupt.
Yeah.
And they kind of showed everything that they needed to show, and they were like, okay, let's just finish this up.
Yeah.
But that is my only explanation for deducting 1 fucking point.
Yeah.
Or sorry, a half a point.
Yeah. I'll also give us a 9 out of 10. Like, the only point deduction is, again, the abrupt ending. Like, I also don't mind the fact that these teenagers learn martial arts through YouTubes and TVs. Like, in 2023, like, that makes sense. Like, for people hiding under the sewer, where else are they gonna learn martial arts?
Spend their time, like they got time on their hands. It's fine.
Bruce Wayne doesn't exist in this world. Neither does the League of Assassins. So where else will they go? It's a nitpick. Like, I forgot to mention, like, people were like also complaining about April's new look of like, can't believe April's not a super
redhead.
Yeah, supermodel type body, and you're like, yeah, she looks like a normal human being. That's how normal human beings look like. Get over it.
normal.
I
Even
mean,
the normal human beings don't look like normal human beings here.
not.
I will stand by my point. The art style is butt ugly.
I mean, in
but
terms
I
of,
love it.
not in terms of animation, but like if you go out in the real world, you're like, oh, not everybody looks like a supermodel in the real world. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just let the horny 90s boys be horny 90s boys.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, good story, great cast, and very good. A very good setup for like really good future events. Like, I'm wondering, like, if they make this into like a franchise, do you think some point in the future that Michelangelo will be the last Ronin? Even though that's kind of sad.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. That's a little too dark and a little too far ways away. But like, if they do go with that route, cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't want to see Leo, Raph, and Donnie like taken away from us.
Right. If you would ever like, since we're getting the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, would you like to see TMNT crossover with any other licenses aside from Paramount?
I would love to see Batman like come in.
Oh, you want to see the crossover? The animated movie is pretty good. Yeah, if I remember it correctly, I like the animated movie much.
Power Rangers.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember they had like a crossover, and the turtles in like Power Ranger suits was so fucking badass. I was like, "Arr!" And then they had the Megazord that was a turtle, and I was like, "Arr!"
Damn, I forgot about that. It is a bit odd there. I would like them to see a crossover with, fuck it, He-Man.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's go.
But yeah, that's been a video on TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Who's your favorite turtle? Who's your favorite crossover character? Please comment down below. If you want to see more of our videos, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see your best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear on the go. I am not on any social, but this gentleman is.
Oh, you can find me at JohnGM_ on Instagram. It is my art account.
And until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.